welcome to my Minecraft mod review. Today, I'm gonna be focusing on Site-21.
Very good, Sky. Thank you. Thank you. Give yourself a round of applause into your microphone. I totally heard that. Anyway, Volume 3 of reviewing
volume
people.
3, it's a three-parter.
It's a 3-in-1. You guys don't know that yet.
It's a triple whammy.
It's a triple
It's 3
trouble.
and 3. 30 on 30.
There'd be 3 of us here, but we don't have a third person, so it's just 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sky, start us off. First person, Yober.
It's Yober, the living legend. I'd want to put him in A, but everyone knows he's uncontested, so he's going straight into S.
Top of S tier. He was my Amazon delivery driver once. That's where that image comes from. He got me my package.
He's a real one.
He's a real one.
Yeah.
Next one.
He's the only Amazon delivery driver that's ever had a photo.
Exactly.
Anyway, the number 2.
Flatline,
aka Danny.
Literally has not texted in Site-21 in an entire year. I checked.
Yeah, he was a good guy though. Everyone kind of liked him. He was pretty iconic. I'd say solid B+, so put him in B.
All right, B+. Josh. What do we have to say about Josh?
I'd say a B-.
B-.
I
can agree.
He's not very notable. He's not very notable.
I can agree with that. I'd put him in A or B+ or something like that. But look at his profile picture. That's Genshin Impact. B-, we're locking it in. Dryad.
Yeah.
He was banned for a peanut butter joke. He also hasn't talked to us in multiple months.
Yeah, I'd say he's a C tier.
I'll give him a C-. He's bottom of C tier. How about that?
Yeah.
Reasonable?
Sure.
Doggo.
Alright, now as for Doggo, that guy, he's pretty cool. I like him.
Yeah.
I don't know about now though. I'd say
like
he's an A. I'd say he's an A.
I'll give him an A tier. Solid A tier.
Yeah.
Smokey himself.
As for Smokey. Yeah. Honestly, pretty respectable. I'd give him a B. B+, maybe.
In front of or behind Flatline? Because I can see a B. He hasn't really done anything bad at any point.
Flatline was a B+. Josh was a B-. Let's stick him right in the middle.
Yeah, we'll stick him in the middle.
Let's just sandwich him.
The only actual flaw I think we have with him is, he just doesn't respond to messages. Ever.
Yeah, man.
He's self-reported that he does that on purpose, though. So, next one. Zoo.
As for Zoo, I never really knew the guy. I'm gonna give him a C.
I agree. I think I've had 1, maybe 2 sentences exchanged between the two of us. C is also our, we don't know this person. Clover.
Yeah, alright, Clover. This one's a little bit controversial. He's alright. Despite being kind of a dick to me a lot.
Yeah, we haven't talked to him in months, but what should we say about that banner, though? Because I made sure to include that on purpose, because it's a little weird. I think that should dock 1 point.
Despite the strangeness, I'd give him a B. I'll stick him right in front of Josh.
Yeah, is he better or worse than Josh?
Well, Josh plays Genshin, so I guess we'll put him in front.
No, because Josh says he hasn't played Genshin in months and months last time I checked.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Let's put him behind Josh.
Yeah, we'll put Clover B- below Josh.
No, you're the guy that knows blank, so you do this one.
Oh, I don't know blank. I have never had a conversation with him. He goes
Well, you've read his messages.
Like, I guess, but, I'll put him in C. I don't know much about him. Mark. I don't know much about him. I've had maybe 2 conversations. Sky, have you ever seen anything with this guy?
I hear from word of mouth when I was still, amongst the community that he was a pretty cool guy. So we'll give him a C.
But hold on. Dock a point. Has been hotel animated banner. D+.
Z tier.
D+.
Z tier. Right now.
Fine, Z
It's not
tier. He
anything
goes in Z
personal. It's
tier.
not anything. It's not anything personal. It's just the Has-Been Hotel.
The fact that
I
it's
don't respect
animated
it.
too is the double dock. I'd put him in D+, but it's animated. He goes in Z. I can see it. Me. What do we rate me?
Oh man, me is a pretty. No, he's pretty cool.
No, this isn't
I'd
you.
give
This
him,
isn't you. This is me.
No, it's me. You
No,
just said it
because
was
you
me,
is right
so it's
there.
me.
You is right there.
No,
Where?
that's you. That's you. That's
No,
me that
this
you're
one. This
holding right
one's
now.
me. That one's you. Where does me
Whatever.
go?
Okay, you go in like A plus S minus.
S minus.
S minus. Put him in S, I guess.
Like I guess we do have some bias. I'll downgrade it A plus. Let me put it in front of Doggo.
Yep. All right. How do we feel about Superior? I've literally never spoken to that man ever.
I don't think I have either, so I don't know shit about him. Though he is pretty active. He is pretty active. Should we just put him in C plus for the activity bonus, even though we don't know about him?
C plus.
Yeah, C plus, top of C tier. Ashrig.
Right. Ashrig, the cat girl person themselves, I guess.
Like I haven't really spoken to
C
him.
tier.
We have a little too many in C tier, and it's cat girl stuff, and that's not really for us. We don't really do that. So how about D plus? Mainly because we don't have a D tier yet.
I don't know if anyone else in Ashrig's general friend group would agree with that, but I'd say D plus is pretty respectable.
Hey, it's our tier list. This is year 3 of this tier list. I think a D
volume 3. It's the third iteration.
It's not a D. It's not a D minus, and it's not an F. That's still kind of middle of the road. Paintball.
All right, paintball. I have no clue who this guy is.
Yeah, he's one of the newer people, but also I don't really know much about him either. I'll put him in C. This one's you. This one's on you.
This one's my guy right here, Seth Sama. Now, this guy right here, this guy is single-handedly teaching me Japanese. I'm kidding. I know nothing about Japanese. I probably won't for like another couple years until I take it. But, this guy is going an S right behind Yober. Guaranteed.
All right, on to the parts where I can speak, too. Derp.
That was one of, like, Axo's little gang goons. He goes in Z.
Does he? Does he really deserve Z tier just for being friends with Axo? Like, I think he was pretty active and decent.
I guess he gets an extra point. He goes in F tier.
Alright, fine. I can agree with that. I don't know anything about him. But
so immediately gets trash banned.
Yeah, we don't need to discuss him.
Let's just get that out of the way.
He's derailed at least two RPs. They may not have been good ones, but he single-handedly stupided his way into them. This person that I mentioned earlier
instantly goes into a Z tier. He has 400 hours on War Thunder. He deserves it.
Yeah, you can't read it. This guy, he's not even an active member of the community. Just that one day I caught him trying to advertise in the middle of general chat and got shut down. And then, like, I clicked on his profile because I was about to skip over him, and I saw War Thunder veteran, over 400 plus hours on War Thunder. And so I thought he can be in this list as a Z tier. You.
Yeah, what that guy said.
You.
S tier.
S tier, that's a little biased.
No, you gotta remember. You gotta remember.
What do I gotta remember?
You gotta remember that one time. You gotta remember that one time that I, like, I don't know. Just S tier.
Just for that one, you're going B plus.
No,
you fumbled. You fumbled your way out of the tiers.
That's fair.
Hank.
I don't know this guy. That one's on you.
I'll give him C plus, because the only thing I can remember about him, he tried to flirt with 1-1 and I'm pretty sure he got punched in the face, and it was pretty funny. I
That
vaguely remember
was
it, but
pretty
I
funny.
know it was him.
Alright. Cobra.
Cobra. It's been a long time since this one was active, too.
I joined the server like initially, like right as this guy quit the server.
Yeah.
I remember you had a lot of beef with that guy.
I don't even think I had a lot of beef with him.
I think it was just one-sided. I'd give him a C plus right behind Hank and right in front of Superior just because it gave you lore.
I suppose so. Behind Superior. Or Superior, whatever. I still don't know.
Alright, now Dr. Victor Bitter himself.
I don't know anything
I don't
about
know.
her. So this is all you.
Now she drew Colby for me.
I will bring it up in the screen and post.
Huh?
I will bring the image up and edit it.
Sure. Now they drew Colby for me for a very low price, and it was pretty good, with a few minor nitpicks that I didn't feel like nitpicking because I thought it would be rude. But anyhow, I'd say B tier.
Solid B.
Right in front of Clover. Right in front of Clover. Right behind Smokey. Right behind Smokey.
All right, I can see that. Because I'm pretty sure they were a pretty well-respected person. I never talked to them.
Yeah, they were good in RP, though.
Good. Wampy.
All right, Wampy.
He was in Site-25 with us. He didn't really participate in anything.
He was in no man's land with us, except he just complained the whole time because we made him build.
He built a lot of our stuff, but also, like, over half of it was non-symmetrical.
Yeah, I don't mean to be disrespectful here. He was a good builder. He just didn't know how to make it symmetrical.
Yeah. He also joined in on half an RP. He joined in half an RP.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a below Ash rank B. I'm gonna give him a below Ash rank B.
Yeah, that's fair. Now, who's that guy? I can't read it.
It's Ro. Ro Vivit himself.
Everyone else. The goated developer.
Yeah, the Taken holder. The Freddy Fazbear voice actor. He goes in S tier.
Immediate S tier.
Alright, Punster. He stepped down as owner recently.
Smokey, but behind Smokey. Oh, did he?
Yeah, he stepped down as owner recently. And hasn't been active since.
I'd say he goes right behind Smokey. They were both buddy and all.
Yeah, we might as well keep them together.
Wasn't he in B tier in the last one? I don't remember.
No, I'm pretty sure he was in F tier because I was mad at him like a year ago.
Now, for this next guy doesn't deserve commentary. We don't even need to say his name. Shove him in the bottom of the barrel.
Yup. Axo is getting a surprisingly high rating with how many other people are going in the bottom of C.
Yeah, it's Nick A10,000.
I think I've had one conversation with this guy, and it was not that deep.
A tier, just for that name. It's peak.
A tier? Where in A tier? Below Doggo. Mega.
Now this guy was really controversial. Yeah, he was probably the most controversial person in Site-21.
Z is kind of our jokey tier. F.
I'd say give him an F.
Yeah, F minus, below
Nobody
dirt.
really liked him towards the end of his career in Site-21.
And we especially didn't. Caleb, though. This one's our final one of this.
Caleb was alright. He was pretty funny when he got crippled by 1-1. I'd say give him a C.
You sure that we want to give him a C and not a low B? I think he kind of earned it for breaking both of his legs.
Yeah, I think he also broke his spine.
Wait. C for cripple.
C, yep. That's right.
Top of C for cripple. Would have been a B if it was Bipple.
C for Caleb and C for cripple. That's right.
Yup.
Alright, and my bad. Now that's that for that tier list. Now on to the next.
So that one was our person tier list. That was the people of Site-21. This one,
now, as for
characters of Site-21.
This one is characters. Now this one's being ranked just generally. Like, how were they in RP?
This is also biased to how well we know them, too. This will not be taking into account, like, shit that we know that would have happened but never did, for the most part. We're gonna try to avoid it. This is just characterization. And also, this section in particular has been asked for ever since the first one of these videos. That's why we're including it.
So this one's for you guys.
This one's for you, doggo. You created this because you're the one I remember asking multiple times.
Yeah, this one's for you, doggo. All right, now let's start with the man, the myth, the brain rotter, the guy that single-handedly turned an RP into a literal melting pot of minds. Okay, this guy was awful. There was so many meme screenshots about him. He gets to go in his own special tier.
Also, as a note, I couldn't find an image of his actual character, so we get that.
Yep.
That's the closest thing you could find.
As for my first character, Colby Fletcher. Now, this guy, contrary to popular, oh my god, I hate the stutter.
Great job, man.
You guys get my point. Contrary, this guy was actually a pretty decent character. Definitely not my best, definitely not my worst. We will not talk about my worst character because he got himself killed in an insane asylum, and I haven't spoken about him since.
Hey, he does not exist. We don't know who you're talking about, Sky. Is that right?
I don't even know who you guys are talking about, okay? It definitely wasn't anyone starting with an M. Anywho, this guy was a pretty decent character. He was a jaded employee, blah, 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 blah. He had metal arms. That was the coolest part about him. Everyone knows. I'd say we give him a middle-of-the-ground B tier.
Yeah, I'll give him a middle-of-the-ground B tier.
Now, Larry Karaoke. I wasn't around for this guy, but everyone says that he was peak Site-21.
No, everyone hates this guy, except for, like, me.
Yeah,
I love this guy,
that's fair.
because I got to do an event based around him when he was first getting in. He's the man who made the Cake and Durians one. You weren't there, but Cake and Durians was peak.
I got there like a week after that happened, I think. Yeah. Or not like a month after it happened.
Yeah. Pretty good event, and I like the entire thing. Now here's the thing. He didn't get properly fleshed out because he was exploded in a medical room before he got to do much. The problem with him is, he was a great character, and I love him to death for the concept. He got hated too much, and so they just killed him.
Tier. That's just the excluded tier.
Yeah. He gets top of that tier, though, because he's probably going to be my favorite one from that tier.
I forgot the next guy's name, so I'm just going to call him Fart Master, okay? I never got to see this guy in action outside of that one event where Shane died, right? We'll get to him later. But this guy, I only remember from the one interaction I had with him where he was, like, skitzing out about, like, the fog is coming or something, and then we all got out there, sat there for 20 minutes, nothing happened. And then, boom, big, like, fucking Kraken showed up, okay? I'd give this guy a C tier.
Yeah.
C for crazy.
Since this was Punster's character, I have had a couple interactions with him. Not nearly enough. He had a pretty good backstory and all, so I like him as a character. I didn't get to interact with him enough. He was underutilized. Underutilized. But he was still characterized. I'll say B tier. Crazy. I want low B tier, middle to low B tier, because his backstory is pretty good. It is a pretty good backstory.
All right, now this next guy, the first
Iota.
characters on the list. Yeah, Iota. So this guy, he was pretty interesting. He could teleport. It kind of evolved a little bit, his classy, like, thing in Site-25, which most of you, other than a couple little gangs of ours that decided to join, I had to burp for a second. That's my fault. Everyone kind of ignored this guy for the most part, which is kind of sad because he was actually a pretty decent character.
Actually, yeah, character-wise, he was ignored too much, but also he was Site-55's commander, basically. Not director, commander, but Clover also evolved his character into having the power to teleport through realities or something, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I
which
don't
made him
know.
kind of
And then there was
stupid.
like this weird period where, for some reason, he just started like clipping in and out of realities. And I'm pretty sure at one point he had a chair inside of him, and that was something that happened because it broke all the bones in his rib cage or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot
Anywho,
of weird
I'd give
shit
him a
that happened with
C.
him.
If anyone in there, if like he got interacted with more, I'd give him a B. But for now, he
Yeah.
stays forever in C tier because the server isn't active.
Hmm.
Now, as for this Ivan, as Clover would remember, despite not continuing the investigation,
This is the Ivan from
this,
Site-55 in specific.
this is a little gangoon that Thomir eviscerated. Now, for a little backdrop, this guy vandalized his office, right? And then he came back trying to look for a way in, and then other guys showed up, took him outside, and buried him alive. Falmir came to rescue. Long story short, he almost killed the other guy and completely just singed this guy.
Yeah, this one was put in a like hole in the ground outside of the site, being buried
And then he
alive.
got charred. He
Other
got
Ivan
burned
was
in the
just gonna
barbecue.
bury him alive and replace him. This one just got zapped to death by Thomir. This was just sad. I don't know what you were thinking, Sky, when you did this one.
It was completely accidental.
Anyway, this one
Yeah,
hardly
he
got
gets
any
to go on Axo tier.
characterization.
He gets to go on Axo tier because he's an idiot for not just like
Dodging in a pit unconscious.
It was a 2 foot deep hole. He could have just like waited. There was enough oxygen there for him to get up and
What do you mean
out.
waited? You zapped him while he was unconscious in the hole.
Yeah, he had enough time. But anyway,
Whatever.
let's get on to the real guy here.
JJM
the
Ivan.
other Ivan. Yeah, JJM Ivan. Now, I didn't get to see much of this guy, but from word of mouth, I can assume he was all right at best.
He was the same Ivan from the first shift, so we actually did get to see some more of him. He threw Wompy's character into a lake. He learned how to summon crusts, and later more, because he still exists off screen. Until he's seen in the future, maybe.
Yeah, he gets stronger in our imagination.
Yeah.
In our hearts, if
He
you
doesn't
will.
get stronger. He just gets
to go in A
different.
tier.
He gets to go in A tier. He existed longer than other Ivan.
Now,
John Merlin.
This guy is controversial.
Is he?
I'm gonna skip the controversy and just put him in B tier.
What controversy? Because I just remember him being an
Your
overall good
controversy.
character. Like,
I remember you like yapping a lot about him. I'm not quite sure, but whatever.
I don't think so. I think you were thinking of
a B tier.
Huh? I'll put him top.
I think I was thinking of someone else. Yeah,
Yeah.
B tier. B tier.
I'll do top B tier. He was a good character. I literally never got to interact with him once because he stayed. Well, I think
literally have never.
3 years ago, maybe.
The only time I had ever seen him in person was whenever I like spammed chickens everywhere with Punster and like annoyed the shit out of him during like some very canonical invasion with chickens that mysteriously disappeared, like in the middle of an outbreak. That actually got me banned for like a week, by the way. That was a really
Didn't you have
funny
a
incident.
blackmail incident related to that? We're not going to get in depth because I don't even remember
that. Despite how many times it's been brought up to me, I have no recollection of that.
Anyway.
That was really funny.
It really is.
Now, this is your guy, so you go to him.
Not properly fleshed out. His skin, it was in my early skin making days, so it's an F tier skin. He does not look up to my standards nowadays. His character, for the latter half of Site-21, he didn't even appear twice. He might have been there once. I had some big things coming, but he never did it.
He was shunned so badly that when I first joined Site-21, everyone spoke of him like some mysterious entity of Site-21 that was like this big mastermind. I had no idea that he was someone who was literally inside of Site-21, still technically working there. He was no idea.
Not on payroll. He was supposed to be captured by security in Larry's, so basically, he was supposed to be captured in Larry's, big arc, basically, because he was a Class E and an anomaly, and because of the Cake Enderians incident, he was seen as dangerous.
Yeah,
But
he
he
just pulled an
skedaddled off
MLK
and
and
outran
disappeared.
security, and basically ever since, for the latter half of Site-21, he's been hiding inside of, a secret back room of his room, or his old room.
Yeah, yeah. And that was the back room that I believe Meow made, and then it
Yeah.
never got
Never was
used because
discovered properly.
nobody discovered it. Like, I knew it existed, Clover did, and then Clover just never investigated it further.
He investigated it, but it wasn't the time yet because it was too early into the Enderian's latter arc.
Yeah, and then it got shut down because he lost drop, but that's a different story entirely.
Yeah, we're not gonna discuss that. But also, Ender's the front bit. He was a Class D who was then accepted into there, and then he was just basically underutilized during the middle, and then he was basically thrown out by the end. Joshua, Josh's character, Joshua. He's the FNAF purple guy skin.
Yeah, he was just a guy that threw money at people and it made the problems go away. That's just American capitalism, A tier.
Yeah, I can agree with it. He didn't really do anything wrong. Alex Oakley.
Now that
Mega's
he was kind of an asshole NRP. I never got to see his character, but I guess what I did see of him was just kind of a dickhead.
Yeah, I think he was supposed to be a rough security guard guy with in the Ontokinetics.
He was
division.
an MTF and Ontokinetics.
Yeah, he was mainly an Ontokinetics because you can see the glove on him too. But
yeah.
I honestly think his character design too is a bit whack because it's all tactical gear. You've never seen his face besides his eye slit. I think that's a little whack for someone who has to dress like that all day, every day. But whatever.
Suit definitely smells.
Yeah. It's the same one too.
C tier.
Yeah, C tier for stinky, but spelled with a C.
Now here's my boy Requise. I punched this guy in the face on my first time joining, and he immediately mauled me, mangled me, and I was found dead the next week.
Yup.
S tier.
I love him too. He's the Iron Golem who's always stood in the middle of that fucking hallway, and that you'd pass 20 times a day, and he'd just say nothing. And you punch him, and he just decks you.
Yeah.
Now
Josh, restaurant guy.
Yeah, restaurant guy.
Or woman. I've never quite understood.
It's a dude. It's a dude.
D tier. I never liked this restaurant. Horrible service.
Ethical dining is... I don't really like it either. That's going to be a hot take because everyone likes it. Unethical. Also, we docked Josh a point earlier for the Genshin Impact by putting him down to a minus or something.
Yeah, and then we undocked the point because it wasn't Genshin Impact, but this is double Genshin Impact.
Yeah, this is a character directly name and skin is a Genshin Impact character, and so is his entire personality. D tier.
Now here we start getting out of the goats. Sparky the Roomba. This guy was goated. It sparked a beautiful arc that was pretty good until Shane died, and then everything went downhill.
The Roomba arc related to this guy, peak. The JJM invasion arc, F tier. But this guy's arc was peak. Clover Evans, the character, actually ate this guy at the end of his lifespan. We'll get there when we get to Clover.
Poor guy.
Poor Sparky.
S tier.
S tier. Above or below Requise?
Way above. S for Sparky.
Alright, yeah, that's fair. Conehead.
Alright.
He didn't get much characterization at any point. Not in Site-21 because he showed up once. And he showed up, he was the intercom guy for Site-21, but that was during the worst arc ever hosted by me. Because it was all combat and no story. He's got a legacy, but if I'm being honest, D-tier characterization. I'd give him a not fleshed out, which he wasn't properly, but he had enough time, and he just didn't show it. He goes below more. He goes above him. I like him more. Can we agree with
Now,
that?
Mega's next character, who I also forgot the name of, gets
Same.
very bottom. That very bottom tier. Nobody ever knew their story because their file was too classified.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Now this one is just because I found an image of it, the other Endirian that was in the Roomba arc that like you guys were testing on, you guys being you and Clover. This
Yeah,
one,
I did. I carried most of the heavy lifting weight in that, and I was pretty peak at it. I'd
yeah,
say
but
I'd give it a D.
this is what tier?
D.
Yeah, I'd say D. It didn't really do much at all.
All right, now here's Thamir. This guy, I love the shit out of this guy. He's my favorite character. All right. Now, controversy. Clover doesn't like this guy. He thinks he's just a stat stick, okay? But he didn't stick around long enough for me to start writing shit for him, okay? When we turned the server into a writing prompt thing, I did like a whole character arc on him, and it was pretty good,
I
okay?
can attest. It's pretty alright. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and then I also started working on a whole backstory series on him, but I got lazy from lack of input because everyone left the server.
Real.
So I'd say if it weren't for the server being public and all, and everyone leaving of their own fruition, I'd say I'd give him an A or an S.
I'd
I'll let
say
you
that
choose.
if I'd say A if he was fleshed out fully, but he never got to be because this isn't writing project for the most part. This is just server stuff.
That's fair.
So I'd give him
He
a
was
B.
all, he was all right in the server.
I'd give him a
He was
right
above
below
Colby.
Kobe. He was all right. He was admittedly definitely a combat oriented character. I'm sure you can't deny that. But he did
Oh
eventually
no
gain an
shit.
actual personality.
Yeah, and a pretty good one at that.
All right. Now the horde of rats that haunted Site-21 for at minimum a year straight.
Yeah. I remember when Smokey rolled the server back 4 months to try and solve it, and then it just erased a bunch of progress, and the next thing you know, there's rats everywhere.
Yeah. I think the
S tier.
infinite rat swarm goes below Requise. It goes into S tier. It's iconic.
Thick Freddy. Thick Freddy.
Yeah, Thick Freddy.
He goes in the easy S tier.
No, I
Just
think
crushes
middle of
everyone
A
between his
tier.
thighs.
Middle of A tier. He
Yeah,
didn't get
I'd
enough
say.
characterization.
USX. This guy was just brawn brain. Okay, he wasn't very interesting. Not to mention the controversy behind him.
I'd say middle of the road C tier.
Yeah, C tier.
Because him as a
Now,
character, we're not
Dr.
judging the
Xenon.
person, because we already kind of did that, I think. This is just the
Yeah.
character. C tier.
Yeah. All right. On to Dr. Xenon. Bottom tier. Okay. You never got the flesh around.
Yeah, I
You
got
never even
I got to
introduce
use her once, and it was on a drug trip that didn't even happen. Not fleshed out enough.
Yeah, and then you got to use her twice, except it was when J-Jam offspringed into Crescentia or whatever it was called. That
Yeah, and
now
that's
co-owns.
we don't talk about that.
Yeah, that one was just a failed attempt. The
Yeah,
server
didn't
kind
even
of
do
sucked. I'm gonna be
anything.
real.
It really did.
Now 1-1 is that
No,
1-1?
this one's
I'm not
Clover.
quite sure.
This one's Clover Evans.
Oh, okay.
I had this
Okay.
one on my mouse.
Clover Evans, I'd say he was a pretty good character. He was comic relief, especially when he killed himself by eating a crystal.
He really did eat Sparky and kill himself by accident.
I'd give him an A tier. Bottom an A.
Yeah, I'd give him an above Purple Guy, below Thick Freddy. Clover Evans, he was a bit stupid, but he was good overall. I approve of Clover Evans as a character.
Now 1-1. Because they predecessed the the whole application system that was beforehand, but now I guess they reworked it.
Reworking and then reworking again, but basically, to keep it short, because they predated the whole system, they got to keep their stupidly overpowered, like...
Now, that aside, despite having basically roleplay immunity, they didn't really have any personality. It was just bronze for brains.
Yeah, I feel like I would put it in weren't properly fleshed
they were
out.
Literally they were basically lobotomized.
Bottom of D tier, they were more plot device than character. anyone can fight me on
Yeah.
this, you can agree with me. More plot
Is
device
that
than
Morgan
character.
I see?
Yeah, this one's Morgan. Clover's character from Site-55,
Morgan was
director of Site-55.
yeah, so Clover's not gonna like this, but Morgan was just an edgelord. Okay, I saw one of the side stories that he wrote on him, where it was like, "Fetch me their souls" or whatever, and
Oh
it
my
was just
god, I
really
forgot he
edgy.
did that. I forgot he did that. No, that was Morgan.
Yeah.
This one's the director.
Oh, Telstra,
Yeah,
or is it
Kelstra.
Ivor?
Kelstra. We don't have
Okay,
Ivor on this
okay,
list.
okay. So Telstra was an all right character. I'd give him a C.
Yeah,
Nothing
C is pretty
notable.
middle of the road. Above USX, below Iota. This one's
Now
Wompy's character,
Wampy's
Russell.
character. Wampy gets an A because there's a crust in the photo, and the crust was drop
There's
kicking
also
him.
old Ivan's clothing, and he's about to get drop
Yeah, the
kicked
one when he
by
was homeless.
yeah, lowest of A.
That's the only reason why he's an A.
Yeah, Russell's
Now
skin was pretty
Morgan.
good too, and I can respect the fit. Now
Yeah, now
here's
Morgan.
Morgan. Now
Everything I
here's
just
Morgan.
said. Yeah, Morgan was a summoner. Okay, originally he was kind of like a necromancer, and then he switched to golomancy for some reason.
Yeah, and then he
Um,
also did the
it was-
stupid decision of you can see it in the image because this was the best image I could get.
Yeah, he
Melee.
switched to melee when he found some stupid bats instead of giving said bats to Velvet, who is
coming up
on the
next.
list. I'd put him in B. He didn't really have much characterization. He was just an edgelord.
Like, I feel like B is a little high if we don't have any characterization, though. Because that's higher
I
than
said
Clover's
D.
other.
I
Oh,
said
D.
D for
Yeah, I'll
Doofus.
put him there. I'll put him in D for Doofus. He should have been a ranged character, and he should have done more characterization.
Velvet. This one was obviously inspired by Sledge Queen. Bottom of D. It
Yeah,
was just another plot device.
yeah, it was really a plot device. It was supposed to be
Now,
like an
this
assistant
one-
or something, but it did its job once. So Velvet is bottom of D.
This next photo is supposed to be a lookout mini-boss that Thamir was pitted up against a couple times. Now, the whole shtick with this guy was he got really mad at Thamir when he one-shot the dude after he tried to hit a trick shot because he made a bet with his other peasant friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he failed said bet because the bet was to hit a trick shot, and he shot a lamp from above Thamir, and Thamir just stepped out of the way of the falling glass, and then that made him really mad because he
Immediately got zapped after and one-tapped and sent back to base. And then he showed up a second time after being repaired in an airport.
Yeah, and then he literally got exploded. Like, so much so that they had to find new parts for him.
Yeah, and he was going to continue, but we didn't. He had an entire side story to him, too. But not fleshed out enough.
He would have been a goated guy. He would have been goated.
Yup.
Now here's the Enders and his
Enders,
gang
all
goons.
of his disguises and his little goons, like Zero and Nameless Enderian Grunt. This is basically every purple Enderian skin. Yeah, bottom of D tier. Bottom of D tier.
Alright. You want to introduce your little buddy?
So, this guy is what was it? Wakizer?
Wakizer?
Yeah, it was Wakizer. And he goes in top of S tier because he's hitting a real thug-ass pose. And he's got that I ain't no bitch expression.
Wakizer is a superhero name, right? His real name is John Stockphoto.
Yeah. That sure is right, Sky, but why'd you just dox him like that, though? Let's discuss that for a moment. Why would you do that to
Everyone knows he's like Iron Man. He's so cool and he's so rich, it doesn't matter if anyone knows his real identity.
You know what? That's fair. Next, Shane. We saved this one unreachingly
I really like this guy. Everyone knew this guy. Everyone agreed that he was a peak character. Okay?
Would you say he was a family man? Maybe a family guy, perchance.
He was a family guy.
What do you think
Everyone liked this guy. He's an S tier, honestly.
I'll put him above the rats, below Requise. How's that sound?
Yeah, he's an S tier. Everyone liked that guy. He was fully fleshed out. Everyone can agree he was a good character until he got. He changed dimensions. Okay, he went from 3D to 2D.
Yup. That sure is
All
one way to
right, who's this
describe it.
next guy? Is that Caleb? Is that
Yeah,
Caleb I see?
yeah, this is Caleb.
Put him in C for cripple. C for cripple.
C for cripple, above any of Clover's characters, because it's funny.
Now, Hope. This one's a little controversial. I talked with Clover a couple times about it, or about her character, right? And he said that he would most likely have an OnlyFans. In his words, not mine. This was in a VC, so don't go digging in DMs for that, Clover.
That is a despicable thing to say about your character.
Yeah, it made me a little uncomfortable. Okay.
Yeah,
I'd say we
but
put him in Axo tier.
yeah, I can agree. It's also like it feels a lot. Hope was made after Clover Evans, the character, died. I feel like this is just female
just felt
Clover
like
Evans.
female Clover.
Just not as good. Just not nearly as
Yeah,
good.
it's not as good. All right.
I don't think Clover
back to the
Evans, the
final
character,
tier
would have
list.
an OnlyFans.
All
Anyway,
right, now here's on the real zinger, the thing that everyone in Site-55 and Site-21's JJM arc believed the entire thing to be.
yup,
Fighting.
this is the exact thing.
This is the combat tier list. This is based around generally who would excel the most in combat above all else.
Now, this is basically every character with a few additions and subtractions. This is the who would win in a fight. Fight against what? Let's pit them against each other, maybe, in order.
Let's just make it.
Let's make it what?
We'll do it in a free for all sense. So who could beat everyone else on this list?
Yeah. We'll start with Axo.
Axo tier. Axo could beat Axo. That's it.
I don't even think Axo could
Now,
beat
Conehead.
Sparky. Conehead. Solid, since this is a free-for-all, I think he could beat most of the, not all of them, most of them on this list. Do you disagree with that?
I do not disagree with that.
I think Conehead, he's got some summoning, because he's a necromancer. He's got some long range, and he's got close range covered, and he's got a lot of girth through his health bar and everything. And he's also one of the only characters with a stat
in the
stat.
Roblox outfit.
Yeah, his head's small, his body's big, he's a tank, and he's a powerful one. I think he goes in S tier.
Yeah, before we move on to the next character, I'd like to mention this is when every character is at their peak. Basically fully realized all of their future and current abilities.
I agree with this. So, this is
Now,
Colby.
with that in mind, Colby, what I originally had planned for him was we were going to melt down a piece of JJM metal somehow with some sort of forge, okay? We were going to give him a little arm blade. With that in mind, I'd give him an A tier.
I can see it, because his arms and legs are modifiable. They are modified and robotic as of when he was last seen,
You also
both
have
in
to
Site-21
realize he
and
also has-
Site-55.
He's also not very slow. He's kind of a rusher, okay? He's got those leg implants. He's very, very fast.
Yeah, he's got one major weakness, though, that keeps him from S tier. Because he could probably throw hands with every other character on this list, aside from a couple. Weak to bullet. He would get shot in the face because he's a punch kicker. He's a punch kick slasher.
His arms and his legs are the only things that are bulletproof. So if you just shoot his lower torso, you'll be good.
Yeah, or you just shoot him in the head, or just like stab him wrong or something.
Or just shoot him before he can finish block.
Or hit him with an EMP. A tier. Not even A+, because he's got a lot of weaknesses, though. I think we can agree to that. Solid A.
Yep.
The Enderian lineup, literally never fought. Not one of them.
In the Enders, I'd put him in a B tier. Or wait, no, high A tier.
I'll put him above Colby, because he does have super strength, because he's an Endirian, and he's a pretty
And he's also
high-ranking one.
next to invincible until you beat him up enough.
Yeah, when you shoot him in the head or his main body takes enough damage, due to being an Endirian, Pure 1, he just retreats into his crystal, and that thing is hella hard. So it's easy to trap him, but he's pretty strong on his own.
Yeah.
Also, he can teleport
now,
with limited success.
Yeah, that too.
So that puts him a step above
Now,
Kobe.
As for Clover, I'd give him probably a B tier. Colby would kick his ass, no difference.
Yeah,
Because,
but
you know,
Clover
he's
Evans,
faster, no arms,
he's
whatever.
basically just our normal-ass dude.
You gotta remember, too, Clover Evans was in the British military, if I remember correctly, and
We
those
can
guys
put B
are
for
pretty
British.
tough.
We haven't made fun of Clover this episode for being British.
Yeah, B for Brit.
B for Oi Bruv. How about that?
Yeah, now Fart Master is up next. Literally
Let me clear it up with you. Negan Morgan, Punster's character, Mushroom Man.
I'm still gonna call him Fart Master.
That's fine. Now, he doesn't have much in terms. He's a bit of a weak dude, just because he's a researcher, head of scientific department. Any of his combat power would come from Barry, so we can add that on, since we're including like Coned summons. What do you think? Because Barry is just a robot dog with a taser, and he himself, he's pretty scrawny. D tier. D tier?
D tier.
But it is a 2-for-1 package. I'm thinking maybe C-, but
D tier.
D+. Because you can just kick the dog if you really need to fight him.
Theoretically speaking, if Iota was at his peak, he could probably utilize his teleporting. Like, if you ever watched JJK, like Toto, except without a second person. I'd give him a high B tier above Clover.
Yeah. It's basically normal dude with teleportation. It's normal dude with teleportation.
It's I think he was also in the British military. I don't know what it is with Clover, but he really likes putting his characters in the British military first.
I think it's his dream job. Like, he is British,
No,
he's just missing the military part. Now, here's the next one. Here's the next one.
My hotkey didn't work.
Why? Why, Scorner? Why did...
Second of all, you're not Vaginas. Third of all, you want to take Vaginas, but you can't take Vaginas because I'm Vaginas.
He beats everyone on this list high S tier.
Yeah, above Conehead. I think Conehead would lose against Vegeta, and I think everyone else on the list would lose against Vegeta.
He's just too geeked.
Alright. The Site-25 Grave Dead Ivan. D tier. He lost his first and only combat encounter in one shot. His ass was knocked unconscious.
No, because you gotta remember, he fought Thamir first, and he was jumping while Thamir was blind, and he literally got full body tackled by a dude in a rock suit. And stabbed in the foot. He got bodied.
Yeah.
I'd say just for that one, bump him down to Axo tier.
Does he deserve it? Yeah, I think he deserves it. I think he could do better than Axo, though. Let's give him that.
Alright, now that guy.
Now, JJM Ivan.
Below Colby.
I'm tempted below Colby, because you also gotta remember, we're counting Negan with Barry, which is basically the same difference, and Conehead with his summons.
I'd say one of each of his summons.
Yeah, which, at least one of... No, because usually he travels around with about 5 crusts. I'd honestly, I'd put him above Ender.
Do we count Cone?
I'd put him above Ender.
Do we count Conehead with one of each of his summons, or what?
No, we count him with basically what he would have done.
His normal patrol squad?
His normal patrol squad. I'll put him below...
I'd say put him high A.
Yeah, high A seems about right.
Yeah.
Rat Swarm.
Alright, this is the Rat Squad.
I think Conehead and Vegeta could...
Because you gotta remember, there was also like a 50-50 that whenever you killed a rat, it just instantly mutilated you and you die.
Yeah. I think Conehead and Vegeta could beat him.
Out your juggler.
Yeah, I think those two could beat him, but just because of sheer rat numbers and how easily they just one-tapped you,
You gotta
And how
remember,
long
though,
they
that was only
lasted.
with melee. For some reason, you could shoot them and they would just die, and they wouldn't instantly kill you. But whenever you hit them, you would just die.
Yeah. But I think low S, lower than those two. Because Conan's got AoE
Yeah.
and Vegeta can literally fly.
All right,
Dr. Merlin.
Now that one's a controversial take. I'd say put him middle A because I've actually never seen him in combat. I just know he's a really good mage or whatever.
Like, I don't think
Or
he's ever...
kineticist.
Yeah, which...
He's not a mage. Mages are a different thing.
Yeah.
I can save that explanation.
I don't know if
Thomir.
he's a combat one, though. Like, he's site director, of course. The only magical feat that I've seen him do that's actually notable is healing Flatline's character, and that cost him his entire vocal cords for all of however long it was convenient for until he gave them back.
Yeah.
I'd put him in B, maybe. In between the Clover characters.
Yeah, because, I mean, I'd put him above, honestly.
Because...
Are we doing this like a gauntlet? Like, do they run up the gauntlet?
Maybe. I don't really think we need to, but we could. We could run up the
frame
gauntlet.
it like that. We can frame it like that.
But you also got to remember,
cases.
I'm putting them in between. Iota's young. Clover Evans is a normal-ass dude. Merlin may have magic, but for one, he has to sacrifice something of his own or from himself, like he did with his vocal cords for anything of substance. And he's also old. He's old. He's like 50,
fair.
60.
So he could beat Clover, but he couldn't beat Iota. That's where he stops.
Because Iota could teleport in and just, like, deck him or something, or shoot him.
Now, Joshua, on the other hand, he has a sock filled with pennies and $100 bills. He bribes his way up the ladder.
Yeah.
And everyone in B tier is poor except for Merlin, and he could beat Merlin.
Yeah, I think
low
Joshua A, he gets an A even though he bribes us. He would have gotten a B for bribe, but he bribed his way up to low A. And if you don't take the bribe, if you're like Clover Evans level, he just beats you over the head with a sack of nickels. I think he deserves A tier for that.
Yeah, he deserves A tier. Now Larry Karaoke. That guy has literally never fought.
Old man. Never fought, old man. He literally exploded.
Now Oakley is just Merlin with worse magic and better hand-to-hand.
I'd put him above Merlin because he's not an old man.
Yeah, because you gotta realize Iota isn't all that much by himself, but he can teleport.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, assuming in the far future he masters his abilities and doesn't like hurt when he does it.
Yeah, he could be pretty deadly with it.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure we can agree. Requise goes above Conehead.
Does he go above Vegeta though? Because he does.
No. Nobody goes above Vegeta.
I can see it kind of.
You want to know why? You want to know why?
Yeah, let's hear it. Alright, let's get this one out of the way. Genshin Josh character. Ethical dining. D. Below Morgan.
Most of the people on this list also have firearms.
Yeah.
Sparky, C tier.
Sparky could throw hands, though. He's beat up Clover on multiple occasions. He goes above Clover.
He also beat up Iota, I'm pretty sure.
Put him in top of B because he beat up both of the people in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of them. B for Boomba.
Alright. That woman. It's basically just max stack.
Yeah, C tier. Just an average person, but it's a woman. And, you know, never seen her fight. Never seen anything cool from her.
Teddy Bear, I hear, kicked Clover's ass, so they got to go above Clover, not much further.
They beat no one else, though. Clover got his ass whooped by that. I think we can agree.
Right behind Vegeta. right behind Vegeta.
Do you think Thamir beats Requise, though?
Thamir can beat him. Thamir can beat him.
Alright. Thamir is way too OP anyway, but you know
Vegeta
what?
just eviscerates him.
Thick Freddy Fazbear, I think that's a C. Because his weakness is range, he has to get around to your head to clamp his thighs on and suffocate you.
Yeah,
Plus-
I see.
I see, above the woman.
He's thicker than Mega's character, so he wins.
Exactly.
USX gets a D tier. He has literally never won a fight.
Yeah. I don't think he's got his
Xenon,
ass handed
now-
to him by Sparky plenty of times.
Yeah, now Dr. Xenon.
Hold up.
probably
Can we
have
take a
himself
second?
out of
Dude, he's getting a D. He's getting a low ass D tier because that picture of him, he's literally in a wheelchair after getting his ass handed to him.
by Sparky.
Yeah, by Sparky. Xenon. Definitely above Mega's character.
Yeah, no, because you forget that we're doing this with units, and I assume that Xenon would have herself guarded.
Yeah, she at least comes around. Every time she's been seen, which is like twice, she's at an Eradicator Mark 1 with her every time. So that bumps her
Okay,
up
so
way higher.
definitely bottom of S tier.
Bottom of S tier?
The Eradicator carries.
Yeah, and that's not including any other units she may have escorted. her.
Platform beats their ass.
Now,
Peterson.
yeah, Peterson. I think he could beat Vegeta, honestly.
I think he could beat Vegeta.
I'll give him that.
He
I'll
gives
give him
a
that.
virus. He gives Vegeta space aids.
Every good medic knows how to hurt people better.
Yep. He gives Vegeta space aids, and his cock falls off.
1 to
Now,
1.
1-1 can throw hands. Okay.
Yeah.
And should we include the guns? Because 1-1 doesn't really use those that often.
No, because in the JJM fight, which is relevant at the end of Site-21, she basically just summoned a grenade launcher out of her ass. I think she could beat Ivan, but I don't think she could beat Xenon with an Eradicator, or like a Horde of Rats. The Infinite Swarm.
Yeah.
I'd say A+. Now here's
Alright, now that guy, Kalstra.
Kalstra. He beat Ivan's.
Teddy
He beat
bear below
JJM
my
Ivan's ass once, but that was in a drunken
Yeah,
rage
but we're
or
running
a
the
drugged
gauntlet
up
here.
rage.
We're running the gauntlet here.
Yeah, we're running a gauntlet, and he's not
not
on
getting
basically
past Merlin.
crack.
Oh wait, no, yes, he is.
What?
He'll get past Merlin, not past Oakley.
Yeah, because he's not that old. He's like 30-something. So I think the age difference. 'cause
Morgan
he's
is
also,
literally lobotomized. Put him in the idiots tier.
Yeah, This is an image of him
forgets
taken
about
from when he
half of his
squad
moveset.
wiped himself. He squad wiped himself in that image. He's done it
Yeah,
at least
and then
3
Velvet-
times.
Velvet is literally soul linked to Morgan. Same tier, right next to him.
Literally got traded a big ass like axe weapon for arms specifically engineered to rip crystals out of Enderians for some stupid ass reason. I don't know why Clover invented those. It was his idea. I thought it was stupid. Whatever. Lower than Morgan. Terrible combat.
Oh my god, he also goes in Axo tier because he got thrown into a fucking river.
Yeah, he really did. By crusts, nonetheless. He goes below the Ivan. Because
Yeah.
that's literally
Alright, now that lookout literally got fodderized.
Bottom
by
of D
Thawmere, but
tier.
At least,
one tap
no,
twice
because at
in a
least
row
he
is
can
bad.
somewhat hit trick shots.
No, he missed all of his shots.
tier.
He missed all of them.
That's
Look-
fair. Now Shane was a U.S. sergeant. Okay, this guy can kick some ass, and everyone knows U.S. is better than British. So I'd say he can beat Kalstra.
Yeah, I can see it.
And Oakley is MTF, but he also just abuses magic. So he'd just go fireball, and Shane couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh my god, it's that Joski.
It's Joski, alright. I made sure to include him here.
D for drunk driving into a facility. D for drunk driving into a facility.
Yeah, baby!
I love drinking and driving, head ass.
Yup. I'm gonna do a hard. Hold up. I'm gonna do a hard cut real quick. All right, we're back. Anyway, that'll be 2 seconds for you.
The man, the medical laugh then. What are you talking about, actually? We didn't forget anyone. Those guys were there the whole time.
Yeah, I actually had these screens. Yeah. Anyway, Doggo Williams from Site-21. This is an image without his robe he stole off of Shane and was depressed for. I don't think he's winning shit. Plus, he's like end stone yellow.
It wasn't even a robe. He retconned it into a towel, or no, he retconned it into a blanket and then into a robe because initially it was a blue towel.
Yeah. So he
can
also
throw some hands. I give him a C.
debuff. He kept tripping over it. C minus.
Yeah, now here's my train of thought. The reason why he's in C is because he can get past everyone in D tier easily, right? The lookout, even if he couldn't miss his shots, he would just trip and fall below them the whole way there, and then he'd punch the lookout, and he'd just be dead.
Yeah, the lookout would just like fall over because it would fake being
USX is
dead.
crippled, so he can't throw a punch anyway. Doggo just climbs the staircase.
Mm-hmm.
The restaurant guy typically doesn't have a gun,
Yeah.
and he never shot it anyway. So,
Yup.
Fart master over there, you just pull the mushroom off his head.
Honestly, I feel like Nagan would feel bad for Doggo and just let him go without a fight.
Yeah, and then Joski would just pass out drunk on the floor the moment that the fight starts, so he just wins by default.
Yeah. JJM Doggo. Unlike normal Doggo, who has never heard a fly before, this is the one from Site-55. He has killed the man in the streets outside of a gas station. And by a man, I mean Hope, the character who's next.
Yeah.
He has murdered people before, and off-screen, who knows what he's done. He hasn't been seen since. So this is the redesign. He's got battle armor. He's got minions off-screen. I'll put him below 1 to 1.
Realized Doggo. This is full realized Doggo.
Below Ivan, above Enders. Hope, final character, Clover, literally got murdered by Doggo William before gaining any powers.
Axo
tier, yeah. Yeah, he deserves it. Hope deserves it. Literally got murdered by Doggo Williams. Pre anything. Doggo literally tripped on the bathrobe before killing her. Like, moments before. It was embarrassing.
Oh my god.
Putting my hands up, absolute shit is that performance. She's supposed to be SD too.
Absolute dog shit. Absolute dog shit.
Absolute dog shit performance for that one thing, lowest one yet. And that's everyone.
Yep.
So, let's go over the list again. Not yet.
Yeah,
let's do a final thing. So,
yeah.
From people, we got Yober in high S tier, Rove right below Yober, and him, I forget his name already, below Rove. We still sitting good on those, right?
Yeah.
Me in high A tier, I don't know about that still. That one's gonna be controversial and biased, but you know what? Whatever. It's biased. This is my video. Doggo in A tier too. Doggo is basically right next to me in ranking. Can we still agree on that? And then Nick is in lower A tier, still solid A for the funny name.
Yeah, just because of the name. Just because of the name. Nick A 10,000.
You get B+. You've had some good character development since being banished alongside me from Site-21.
Yeah, I'm
not like anyone's gonna know.
Guys. I'm not a squeaker.
His voice got deeper. He's still basically a child, though. Which is weird, but whatever. And then we got Flatline, who hasn't spoken in a year, but they have history, so they deserve the rank. Yep. Smokey and Punster together, solid B tier. B for barbecue, and Punster gets to be with his homie.
B for barbecue again, because I couldn't think of anything.
Mm-hmm. Scoot, this is where you put him. Or her, whatever.
B for art. B
Yeah,
for
B for
giving me
bitter.
art.
B for bitter. Because bitter
Yep,
is
B
in
for
their end of
bitter.
the name. Josh and Clover, low B tier. B minus. Do we still agree on that?
Yeah, I agree on that.
I'm alright with it.
He was good for a while.
Yeah. Caleb,
And then
C for
yeah.
cripple. C for cripple.
C
He
for
deserves
cripple?
it. Yeah, he deserves it. That's a pretty decent rank, a C plus. Hank, C plus. I can agree with it. Tried to riz up 1-1, got punched in the face. It was kind of funny. C plus puts him above the people we don't really care about. No offense. Suprior, haven't talked to him. Cobra, haven't talked to him. Zoo, haven't talked to him much. Flank and Paintful, haven't talked to him much. Dryad can sit there. Got banished for peanut butter. I was getting to them, by the way. All of those are C tier. D tier. Ashrig and Wampy. How we sitting on that?
I'm not quite sure. Ashrig, I think they're good actually.
Yeah, I think it's a fine ranking. F. Mega deserves it. Does Darp deserve it for having association with Axo?
Yes.
Alright. I'll leave it there then. I don't feel too bad about it because I've never really spoken to him. These ones we don't need to discuss. They've earned it. We all know why.
Yeah.
We can move on to the next recap.
Yeah, I think the next two recaps the people can deal with because yes, because I'm sure we can agree I'm not gonna have much speech on them.
Yeah, the S tiers are all easy.
Immediately after I post the link.
Huh?
Smokey's gonna banish my alt immediately after I post the link, which is gonna be pretty funny.
It's gonna be so heat.
It's gonna be hilarious.
Anyway, I think we can agree with all of these for the most part, character-wise.
Yeah. I can agree.
I'll move Clover Evans above Thick Freddy Fazbear.
That's
I think
fair.
it's a small change because they're basically even, but I think he gets a slight edge characterization-wise, right?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
I say move Caleb down below Iota.
Where's Caleb right now? Oh, right there.
C.
All right. That look good?
And then the fighting one?
Yeah, the fighting.
I think we just did the fighting one, so I don't even think we need to disagree on anything.
Yeah, we don't. We kept revisiting it. All right. So, any closing statements, Sky? Because I don't got any.
Well, first of all, I am Vegeta. Second of all, you're not Vegeta. Third of all, you want to be Vegeta, but you can't be Vegeta because I'm Vegeta.
Very beautiful. Give us a round of applause for that.
Vegeta
Applause
himself.
into your mic, please. You deserve it. That was a very moving speech. I think that's about it. I think that's our definitive person list, character list, characters who would win in a fight against each other list.
Yep. I'm gonna give us a closing Macarena if my soundboard will work.
Yeah.
Which apparently it isn't.
Should I just cut it now?
Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Please.
Technical difficulties, everyone.
Please.
Apparently.
No. I found it.
Alright, I don't feel like sitting through the whole clip, so goodbye everyone. Sky, say bye. Bye-bye. This was our yearly video. This was my yearly Site-21 tier list video. 3 in 1.
I will never see you guys again. I guarantee it.
Yeah, we're not getting back in. Especially not after this banger. We're never getting let back in. Goodbye, everyone. We'll see you again in a year. We'll see you again in a year. Goodbye, everyone. It was
Totally.
nice. It was nice if you guys didn't delete my message before.
We should
like you guys
stop
did
dragging
before.
the meme.
Yeah. All right. Goodbye.